everyone. I'm not sure if you can see us right now. Yes, okay. I'm Dawn Hawkins from Morality and Media, and this is my husband, Michael.
Hello.
He didn't have to work today, so I suckered him into participating with me in this live stream event. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
So, we're going to talk about some common pro-porn arguments and just things you could say in response. I just want to preface that Michael is not pro-pornography.
I'm just here playing a role today.
He does like to argue with me, so I think he might enjoy this. And I just want to say, he's probably way more feminist than I am. He is not he does not objectify women in any way. He, when it comes to housework and me working and all those things, he's completely supportive. And actually, in order to get him to do this event today, I had to promise to clean out the fridge. But that's the only time that he's ever,
Otherwise, I would
asked
be doing
me
it.
to do something around the house. Okay. Michael, do you have any questions for me? Seeing as you're pro-pornography?
I do. I don't think porn really harms. There's no evidence for that. Where's the proof?
Well, we hear that all the time, I just want to say. But there is so much proof now. We've got a website, pornharmsresearch.com, where we've gathered almost 1,000 articles, peer-reviewed research, as well as news and opinion articles that prove that pornography harms using science. I mean, now we know that pornography is leading to lifelong addictions of children and adults. It's destroying marriages. 56% of marriages cite internet pornography as one of the reasons for the breakup of the marriage. Pornography leads to increased demand for sex trafficking. We can talk about that one a lot more, but it also leads to increased demand for child pornography. It changes attitudes and beliefs about the opposite sex. It very much objectifies and degrades women, and it contributes to this idea that women are just sex objects, and that the type of sex that's supposed to happen is very violent and degrading. I mean, there's so many harms. We like to say that pornography is leading to a pandemic of harm because the harms right now are endless. People 20 years ago, they didn't understand why pornography was such a bad thing or what it was leading to. But now almost every family has been touched by pornography, is worried about pornography, and recognizes that it doesn't bring any good.
Well, pornography, it's between consenting adults. I mean, they know what they're getting themselves into and they do it. And if they enjoy it, why shouldn't they be able to do it?
I think that's interesting. They know what they're getting themselves into before they do it. That is almost never the case. Many of the performers in pornography come from, very difficult backgrounds. They very much need the money. They've been abused. A very high percentage of them were abused as children sexually. They come from broken backgrounds, and so they're not able to really make that decision clearly, understanding the ramifications of that choice. And then I just want to point out too that it's not often consenting. I've talked to so many performers in pornography who participate in mainstream pornography, and they've talked about how they go to a shoot expecting one thing. They're told by the producer that they'll have to do one sex act, and they get there and they're forced to do what they don't want to do. And if they don't do it, they don't get paid, they get beat, they are drugged. I mean, it's not always consenting. They make it look glamorous on film, but it's not.
Well, viewing porn is something I want to do in the privacy of my own home. Why shouldn't I be able to do that?
Well, it's illegal to produce and distribute certain kinds of pornography, hardcore pornography or obscenity, because it is particularly violent and degrading. It doesn't lead to anything good. I'm not saying that you can't do that in your home, but you need to realize what it's leading to. It will change your perceptions of of the opposite sex. It will hurt your relationships with other people. It will impact your productivity in the workplace. There's so much science now that shows that it will affect the way that your brain views sex and women, and it could lead to addiction. Not to mention that it hurts people. I mean, many people in pornography are not consenting. Many are. Some are trafficked and some are abused. And if you're watching that in the privacy of your own home, you're still contributing to that.
Well, isn't it my First Amendment right to be able to watch this stuff?
Well, it's your First Amendment right, I believe, to watch
even in public
legal things. But even in public. Let's talk about that in a minute. But it's hot in here. Wait, your question was, it's your First Amendment right. Well, the thing is that it is illegal under existing laws to produce and distribute hardcore pornography. It is not legal to make this stuff and to distribute it on the internet, on cable and satellite TV, in hotels and motels, or in retail shops. And the Supreme Court has found that it's not a protected right. Now, in public, I mean, there's standards of decency, and I would argue that, it's not okay to expose people. I have a right, too, to not have to see pornography when I don't want to see it. My child has a right to a safe environment at school, at the library, at the shopping mall, on an airplane. They shouldn't have to be exposed to pornography. And also, I just want to say, I've read so many news articles where men in particular, are viewing pornography in public places, and it leads to such horrible things. They're masturbating in public, they're stalking and harassing females around them, they're leaving it, they're purposefully exposing other people around them to it. Public is no place for pornography.
That seems crazy to me. Pornography has been around for forever, I feel like. Mm-hmm. Isn't it? It's been normal before. Now it seems like things are changing. I think it's been around forever. What's the deal with all this stuff?
Well, I would say yes, pornography's been around. Sex is normal. It's normal for us to want to have sex and to find each other attractive. However, in recent years especially, the type of pornography has changed drastically. I mean, the thing that people need to understand today is that pornography is not just pictures of topless women anymore, because pornography changes the brain. It changes what we find satisfying. And so over time, it's become very deviant, increasingly violent. That's why today, child pornography is on the rise. People find that they can no longer be satisfied with pictures of just women's breasts, and so they have deviated to harder materials, to fetish-type materials. The internet has fed that. I mean, pornography today is not even like it was 20 years ago, and it doesn't matter, because now, we can argue that it changes your brain, and you're not going to continue to be satisfied with the same type of images. You'll soon find that boring, and it becomes more deviant, and it leads to so many more harms.
So you're telling me pornography is addictive?
It's very addictive. It changes.
I think you're just anti-sex.
Well, since you're my husband, you know that I'm not anti-sex. But I hate when people say that we're anti-sex just because we're anti-pornography. That's not true. I mean, sex is such a sacred, private thing between two individuals. It's not supposed to be shown for everybody else. And people watching the degradation and objectification of others is not healthy sex. That is not, and it leads to addiction. It tears apart relationships. It stops people from being able to form those special, intimate relationships with one another.
Well, I feel like there's some women out there that like porn too, so I think it's fine.
Some women do like porn. In fact, today there's many more women who are addicted to pornography as well. But just because women are buying into the idea that they're to be used and abused doesn't mean that it's good for them, or that it's empowering. It means that they're buying into what they've been fed now all these years.
Don't you think there's an aspect to pornography that kind of teaches people about sex, shows them what they can do, what to do?
I mean, you don't need a manual to know how to have sex or to have, how to get close with your partner, your husband or your wife. No, pornography is not needed as educational material.
Don't you think it leads to decreasing prostitution and trafficking? Isn't it good for that?
Actually, it leads to quite the opposite. I mean, because of the addictive nature of pornography, it leads the users of pornography to want more, to find that they can't be satisfied any longer with, just these images. Oftentimes they want to act it out. Usually their partner, their wives, their husbands, they don't want to perform what they've seen in pornography. And so the users of porn seek it elsewhere. They seek out prostituted women and trafficked women. It increases the demand greatly. And also, I mean, now pornography has become so violent in nature, so deviant that many people are trafficking women and forcing them to participate in pornography. And so, I mean, there's increased demand for trafficked and prostituted women all around for the production of pornography, but then also to satisfy the demands of the users of pornography.
You know what? I just think you shouldn't try and impose your moral values on others.
This isn't just an argument about what's right and what's wrong morally. Pornography is leading, as I said, to so many harms to our society. Addiction for children, to increased violence against women, to increased demand for trafficking. This isn't a moral issue. This is, it's not a religious issue. We're working to protect the rights of others as well.
Well,
and I think you shouldn't be infringing on those rights by abusing people through pornography.
Here's the issue. Boys will be boys, and men are just going to do this, and that's just the way it goes.
Are you an animal? I mean, you can't control yourself. People have the ability to control their urges and their desires, and that is just not even an adequate argument in any way.
Well, I feel like I've run out of most of my arguments.
Do I win again? I always win the fights.
You've given me a good list, but I don't think I can come up with any more.
I think we're going to have to do this again. If any of you are watching, you can you can type in a chat on the side of the window and ask any questions.
I need some help. Give me some more arguments.
Nothing? Okay. Well, I just want to thank Michael. I dragged him out of bed, and I begged him
I wasn't still asleep.
He's lying. He didn't have to work today. Thank you. And
You're welcome.
I just want to say we have a lot more information on our website, pornographyharms.com. We even have written out using a lot of science and statistics that have been proven some of the answers to these questions. I'm maybe not as eloquent on the fly as I am when I typed up all the answers, but I invite you to check that out. Go to pornharms.com. You can find research articles at pornharmsresearch.com. Thank you. We're done. I don't know how to stop it.